In a forgotten corner of Georgia, where dirt roads carved paths through cotton fields and silence echoed louder than voices, lived a boy named Eli. His house was a wooden shack, his shoes had holes, and his dreams, they were too big for his small town. Eli never had books or tutors, but he had one thing, his mother's belief. His mom said, "One day you'll walk into that fancy building across the street, baby, and they'll call you Dr. Eli." He'd smile, but deep down, he knew the truth. He couldn't even afford a notebook. So he used old receipts and paper scraps to take notes under a flickering street lamp outside a diner. Kids laughed at him. Random boy mocking said, "Still pretending you're going to be a doctor, huh? You'll be flipping burgers forever." Eli, quietly but firm, "Maybe. But one day, I'll save your life." Everything changed the day his mother collapsed at the market. He carried her 5 blocks to the nearest hospital. But when they saw she had no insurance, they turned her away. Hospital staff, "I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do." Eli cried, "Please, she's all I've got." That moment broke something in him and built something else, a promise, not to God, not to the system, but to himself. He'd become the doctor his town never had. He worked at a diner by day, washed dishes until his fingers bled. At night, he studied with borrowed books, memorizing anatomy while taking out the trash. He failed the entrance exam twice. Eli, maybe they're right. Maybe this dream is too big for someone like me. But then he remembered his mom's smile, the hospital's door slamming shut, and the boy who laughed at him. He took the test a third time, and this time he passed. The screen didn't say failed, it said accepted. He cried right there in the library, not because he made it, but because he knew the real work was just beginning. In med school, Eli didn't have name-brand clothes or a laptop. He wore thrifted shirts, carried used textbooks, and still worked night shifts to afford his meals. While other students partied, he studied because he wasn't just trying to pass. He was trying to become the person he needed when he was 12. Years passed. He graduated top of his class. And on the day he wore that white coat for the first time, he didn't think of the degree. He thought of the bench where he once studied on scraps, the streetlight that barely worked, his mom's faint voice in the dark. Professor proudly said, "You've seen pain, Eli. That's what makes you a healer." One night, years later, a woman came into his ER crying. Her son had a high fever, but she had no insurance. She begged, panicked, "Woman, please, don't turn us away. He's all I've got." Eli knelt down beside her, gently touched the boy's forehead, and smiled. "Eli, don't worry about the bill. He's going to be okay. I promise." And just like that, a circle closed. Eli walked out of the hospital that night, sat on a bench outside, the same kind of bench he once used to cry on. He looked at his hands, calloused, tired, but now wearing gloves that healed. In one hand, he held a broken pencil. In the other, a stethoscope. Some people are born with everything. Others are born ready to fight for it. And Eli? He was never just trying to become a doctor. He was becoming hope.